Hello, dear students. Today we will learn regarding abiotic factors affecting habitation. There are four factors which are affecting the habitation. One of them is temperature, which was dealt last time. The other is water, light, and soil. Today we will discuss regarding water, light, and soil. So far as the water is concerned, it is next to the temperature affecting or increasing the habitation. Water is counted the elixir of life because we know that in our body cells approximately 60 to 70% H2O is there, and the surfaces of water availability is limited. Then it is resulted in desert area. The plants and animals have to get the adaptation to live in it. So far as the characteristics of water is concerned, that depends upon two factors. One of them is pH value, the other is salt. pH value. So far as the pH value is concerned, you know that if the pH value is 7, then it is normal to the living beings, and if it increases more than 7, then it is counted basic. If it decreases less than 7, it is counted acidic. Both basic and acidic water affecting the hygiene of the plants and animals. Now see, in land water, the salt is found or the salinity is found approximately up to the 5%, while in marine, that is the saline water, the salinity is 30 to 35%. But so far hypersaline levels are there. Just like the Dead Sea in Israel, the salinity is beyond 100%. That is, it is hypersalinity. Now, so far as the animals are concerned, some of them are called euryhaline. Euryhaline are the animals who have wide range of salinity. Stenohaline are the animals who have got the narrow range of salinity. Freshwater animals cannot live in marine or saline water, and marine animals cannot live in the fresh water. So this is the abiotic factor water affecting the habitation of the animals. Now the third one is light. So far as light is concerned, you know that it is available on the earth due to sun. It is the nearest star. In sun, thermal reaction have been going on continuously, and at the end of that, electromagnetic radiations were created, and they are thrown into the universe by using the photons, that is the unit of the light. The autotrophs can synthesize the food with the help of photosynthesis. So far as photosynthesis there, then 680 and 700 nanometers radiations are very useful. Shrubs which are got the tiny size synthesis under the poor light, because we know that herbs and shrubs have got the enough light. They are overshaded by the canopy and long trees. Photoperiodic requirement is necessary for flowering. Some of the plants are having flowering in the long range of the light, like in summer. Some of them have got narrow range of light, that is in the winter. Seasonal varieties in the intensity of the light is occurred. You know that the intensity of light is almost high in the summer, but somewhat low in the winter season. Inspiration for the reproduction, migration, and foraging has been getting to the certain intensity of light. Deep into the ocean, if you go there, that is approximately 900 meters in the depth, then it is very dark. Even though there some of the algae may have got their existence. Special quality of the radiations are required. UV components of the light is harmful. We know that the visible light, that is the sunlight, then UV ultraviolet light, IR infrared light, cosmic light, and so the other type of the radiations are microwaves and radio waves too, X-rays too, gamma rays too. So they have got their own effect on the habitation of the animals and plants too. Now the third one is soil. The last one is the soil. So soil in the other end, other meaning can be called the land. It has got the different properties. See, different properties, like some of the land have got the high mountains, some of them have got the hilly area, some of them have got the plain area, some of them have got the deserted area, some of them have got the coastal area. So this is the different structure of the land. Structure of the land depends upon the climatic position. See, if the Scandinavian is there, then they create the desert there. If the price probability is poor, then scanty plants are found there, and thereafter living animals may be in the small quantities too. But soil particles can be called sand particles, stilts, and clay particles too. If the clay particles are transported, then will form the lagoons or the lawns, and will be a fertile land. And so fertile land having dense plants, having more numbers of the animals residing there. And if the stilt or the sand particles are transported, then will result in the desert. And so deserts have got the scarce plantation and have got the small numbers of the animals residing there. Different composition of the grain size aggregation determine the percolation and water handling capacity. Percolation, that is, the ability to filter, and the water handling capacity is that thing that hold the water and have the smooth surface there. So far as the pH is there, then pH may vary from water to water to some extent, and the mineral composition is there. That the formation at the time of the formation of the earth, all the minerals have got their accumulation just below the layers of the soil. So this mineral composition may also have its value, and so there is a dense population there. It determines the vegetation and aquatic environment, sediment characteristics, determine the type of the benthic animals that can thrive. So now the topic is over. Now we will see the new topic, that is response to the abiotic factor. We earlier have already discussed that all these four factors have been affecting the population or the numbers of the plants or numbers of the animals. So these four factors have got their own impression or have their own effect on the habitation of the animals and plants. So they may vary because of these four factors have got this very varieties. So far as if the nature or the land or the weather or the climates doesn't allow the animals to live the life easily, so it may be called that the cock or the stressful condition. Due to the evolution, constant internal changes are occurring in the animals and plants to cope up with the time being. But thereafter, stressful conditions may go on, and the ability to fight against it is occurred. Thus, the fitness to sensitivity, and it is developed in the next generation too. So, homeostasis. What is homeostasis? The constancy of internal environment. So far as the leading of the life is easy, then that can be called the osmosis or homeostasis. Analogy to clarify the concept, let us have an example. So far as the living compressed at 25 degree, then it's alright. If it is more than 25 degree, then can be called that there is hot there. And if more and more temperature is there, then can be called as scorching hot. If below 25 degree, then can be called that it is cold. And if more less than 25 degrees, more less than 25 degrees, then can be called that it is cold. All these will develop certain stresses, and so the person homeostasis is not through physiological, and so it has to get some relaxation by creating the artificial means to reduce. Now let us see the possibilities to attain the homeostasis. So there are total 4 possibilities to get the homeostasis. For that, one of them is regulate. Regulate is by physiological and behavioral means. All the living beings can regulate. How? The constant body temperature is suppose that our healthy persons have got 36.8 degree is a normal temperature, or 98.6 Fahrenheit is called the normal temperature. But the body temperature is more than it, then can be called that there is fever there, and so the sweating will take place, perspiration will be there, so the body fluid may come out from the skin pores, and there will be the evaporation due to the air flow, and the cooling effect may occur. So this is the way by which the animal can have its adaptation. Now, if the temperature is below the normal temperature, that is below the body temperature, that may create some cold effects on the organs of the body, and organs will get shivering. And so shivering is nothing but a type of the vibration of the micro-organs, and due to this exercise, the body temperature may rise and may have got the relaxation. But the plants haven't got such type of the shivering or the sweating effects. This is called the thermoregulation or the osmoregulation. Both thermoregulation and osmoregulation are necessary to get relaxation, to get rid of the effect of the climates. Now the other factor is migrate. Migrate is move from successful habitat to the hospitable areas. You see, let us take an example. In Russia, there is a province which is called the Siberia, which is on the northern east area, and it is nearer the high altitude. So there is a cold during the winter there. Sometimes the temperature of the Siberia may come down to the 35 minus or below it too. So there is awful condition there to reside. So the habitat is to be changed. Those cranes, that is the pink-necked cranes, have been residing there. They have to get rid of the temperature. For that purpose, they will migrate from Russia to the Bharatpur of Rajasthan, where Kaliado Park is there, and these birds are called migratory birds because as soon as they will get the chance to have the normal or the tolerable temperature there in the Siberia, they will return there to their native. So this strategy is like ourselves that during the summer season, in order to get rid of the warm climatic weather, we have been often visiting to the hill station area.